Okay, we're ready to begin Lesson 23, Session 3. We're going to develop telling time. So here we see an analog clock and a digital clock. The question asks, what time do these clocks show? So as a hint, they both show the same time. Let's take a look. As a reminder, the hour hand is the short red one. The minute hand is the long blue one. Hour hand, minute hand. And here we have our digital clock showing 9:30. So we know that the digital clock shows 9:30. Taking a look at our analog clock, we see that the hour hand is halfway between the 9 and the 10. Halfway between the 9 and the 10. The minute hand is on the 6, showing that it's half past the hour. So we know that an hour has 60 minutes in it. Half of 60 is 30. So 30 minutes have passed when we see that our minute hand is on the 6, or halfway around the clock for 1 hour. The question asks, how do you know? How do you know that it says 9:30? So let's take a look for a second at what our colors represent. Red represents the hour on both clocks here. So we see a red hour hand and a red background for our hour portion of the analog clock, which is to the left of the colon. We see the colon right in the center there, separating the hour from the minutes. So seeing that the hour hand is between the 9 and the 10, we know we still say 9. It has not gotten to the 10 yet, so we can't say 10:30. We need to say 9:30. How do we know? So again, looking at the colors that are representative of the hours and minutes on the clock, it helps us know how to say it in order. So we wouldn't say 39. We always say the hour first and then the minute hand. So that's just kind of a good thing to keep in mind. Look at the hour hand, look at the minute hand, say it in that order. Okay, so try it was just our explanation of how we know that these two clocks show 9:30. You might have a different way of saying it. Some people might say that it shows 30 minutes after 9, or 30 minutes past 9, or half past 9. Any of those ways are correct for identifying what we see on our clocks here. So again, try it was just us chatting about how we know what we're looking at here. Go ahead and discuss it. What is the same about these two clocks and what is different? So again, looking at the clocks, what's the same about them? I'm noticing that in both of these, the red color indicates the hour. The blue color indicates the minutes. That's what's the same about them. Also, I see a 9 on this clock and a 9 on this clock. Some things that are different. There's so much different, isn't there? I don't see a 30 on this clock, on the analog clock. I do see it on the digital clock. So you might find that telling time on a digital clock is a lot easier than on an analog clock, and that's okay. With practice, you're going to find that it can become just as easy. So 9:30. What's different is that we don't see the 30 on this clock. We also don't see hands on our digital clock. What's something else that you notice that's a difference? Okay, flip to the back side. So once again, we're looking at the same two clocks with the same questions. What time do these clocks show? Please say what time they show. You should have said 9:30. How do you know? Well, we know because looking at the hour hand is between the 9 and the 10. So we say 9. The minute hand is pointing to the 6, which shows that it's 30 minutes past. When we count by fives going around the clock, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, we see that it's 30 minutes past the hour, 9:30, 30 minutes. Let's count by fives again. This time do it with me, please. So of course we start counting by fives when we start moving. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. the time is 9:30. Model it. Read the time. The digital clock shows the same time with numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at our clock here. It says minute hand, and it's pointing to our blue hand. We know that the longer blue hand is our minute hand. We know that the short red hand is our hour hand. So looking at this, we can count by fives again, just to make sure that we understand why our minute hand stands for 30. So starting at the 12, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The time is 9:30. So let's take a look at our question. It is 30 minutes after, Here is where we're going to put the hour of which it is 30 minutes after. Well, I can't remember. Let me take a look again. Here's our hour hand. Okay, I see that it's between the 9 and the 10. I have to say 9. I cannot say 10. It did not get to the 10 yet. So it's 30 minutes after 9. Let's put a 9 on the line right there. Please write your 9. 30 minutes after 9. It is 30 or 9:30. Let me read that again. It is 30 or 9:30. Well, I heard a 9 here. It must mean a 9 goes here. Let me see if that would make sense. It is 9:30 or 9:30. Yeah, let's put the digit or numeral 9 on this line here to show 9:30. This is just another way of saying or writing 9:30, spelling it out with words. And finally, it is 9:30. So remember, our hour hand had started on the 9. As our minute hand moved around the clock, we saw that it got halfway around the clock. So it's 9:30. Let's write a 9 on this line. It is 9:30. Now you might be thinking, well, couldn't it be 10:30? The hour hand is approaching the 10. It's getting close to the 10, but it hasn't hit the 10 yet. So it's 9:30. Remember, our hour hand was pointing perfectly to the 9 when we started the hour, but as the minute hand moves around the clock, that's where it ends up. Okay, connect it. How was your way like model it? How was it different? Take a minute to think about that. Let's go back up to try it. And in our discussion, we had said that the time on the clock was 9:30. We really didn't talk about it too many different ways. Maybe we said 9:30, but we focused on the hour hand, the minute hand. We called this time 9:30. Taking a look down here at Model It, we talked about it a lot of different ways, didn't we? We said that this time could be read as 30 minutes after 9, 9:30, like we talked about in Try It, or 9:30. So to answer the question, how is your way like Model It? It's the same because we were looking at the same times on the same clocks. And both times we said 9:30. The way it's different is because they gave us a couple different ways of saying what we see on this clock here, especially 9:30. We didn't really talk about 9:30 when we were in Model It on the first page. Okay. Please go to the next page, which is 527. And our friend Buzz has a problem for us. Buzz says 9:30 is halfway between the hours of 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So 30 minutes is the same as a half hour. Do you agree? Why or why not? Okay, let's read this problem again and really think about what it's asking us. Buzz says 9:30 is halfway between the hours of 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So 30 minutes is the same as a half hour. Do you agree? Why or why not? I agree with Buzz because at 9:30, the minute hand is halfway around the clock, just like we saw up here on our clock. We see that half of the clock is filled with yellow to show that half of the time has gone by in the hour 9 o'clock. Also, when we visualize the minute hand working its way around the clock, we know that it's gone halfway around the clock. When it gets down here to the 6, it's halfway through the circle or the clock. So I do agree with Buzz. And the reason is because the minute hand is halfway around the clock. Now you might have a different way of explaining it, and that's fine. If you do not wish to write your answer out, but rather we discussed it just now, that's fine. Apply it. Okay, take a look at our big analog clock here that we're going to use for this problem. It is 30 or 7:30. Well, let's look. We see a 7 in the spot for the hour. We see 30 in the spot for the minutes. Remember, the colon separates the hour from the minutes. So it is 30 or 7:30. All right, again, the answer is kind of right here for us, and it's right here for us. What's missing from this line, everyone? The number 7. It is 7:30 or 7:30. Let's write 7. It is 30 minutes after. Well, 30 minutes has passed since what hour? Again, 7. Go ahead and write 7 on the line. It is half past. Half past. Again, looking at the hour hand. I'm sorry, the hour part. 7. It is half past 7. Please put a 7 on the line. Problem 4. It is 30 minutes after. It is half past. It is 30. Take a look at our analog clock. Again, we see the hour hand is perfectly between the 1 and the 2. So are we going to say 1 or 2 for the hour? We're going to say 1 because it hasn't gotten to 2 yet. We see, if we count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Our minute hand is 30 minutes past the hour. So it is 30 minutes after. The answer is 1. 30 minutes after 1. Please write 1 on the line. It is half past. Taking a look again at our hour hand, we see that it is halfway between the 1 and the 2, so it's half past 1. Didn't get to the 2 yet. Half past 1. Please write 1 on the line. It is 30. What time is it, friends? 1:30. Can't be 2:30. It did not get to 2 yet. It is 1:30. Please write a 1 on the line. On the back side, Dan starts cooking at 4 o'clock. Dan finishes cooking at half past 4. Draw hands on the clock to show the times. All right, please pause the video and draw your hands to show 4 o'clock. Once it's drawn, it should look like that. Then we're going to show that he finishes cooking at half past 4. Half past 4. We're going to bring our minute hand halfway around the clock and stop at what number? 6. We stop at 6 to show half past 4. Our hour hand is going to be between the 4 and the 5. It's going to look like that when you're done. Okay, and our last problem. It is half past 12. Show the time on both clocks. Please pause the video to show half past 12 on both clocks. We see 12:30. Remember, 30 is showing halfway through the hour on our digital clock. On our analog clock, we're showing the hour hand halfway between the 12 and the 1, and the minute hand perfectly on the 6 to show that 30 minutes have passed, which is half of the hour, half past 12. Okay, once you finish that, you're going to do the green page on your own, please.